What is the saddest video game you have played and why? The Beginner's Guide. It's not a traditional game per se. It's more a story of an indie game developer sinking into depression as narrated by his friend. You play the games and levels that he made before he stopped making games. I was looking for this one. That game made me feel dirty, tainted. The narrator basically made you an accessory to his hideous betrayal! It's quite an experience and I don't know anything that quite compares to it. It was shocking to me when that little tidbit was revealed. More than a game. That's an experience. Probably that dragon. Cancer. I don't usually play video games, but I read about this one in a tech magazine, and I was intrigued by the concept. The game was designed by Ryan Green, whose 5-year-old son Joel died of cancer. TDC is intended to help people understand what his family went through when their son got diagnosed, 12 months old, and what they experienced while raising him. The game explores what you do in life when the level is broken, when you can't get to the goal, no matter what you do. The goal of the game is not to win or get to the next level, but to find the moments of grace in the darkest of times. It is an exploration game where the player is able to interact with the characters and make certain choices, similar to those that the Green family had to face while their son was growing up. Alongside the interactivity, the game includes narration from both Ryan Green and his wife Amy, as well as recordings such as voice emails that they had made during their time with their son. Some of the scenes also include cards, letters, and other mementos of support for the Greens, sent in by people that had experienced similar losses in their life. It was touching to see these elements included. Among the sleep, you're a toddler trying to survive all these scary scenarios. Spoiler alert. At the end you realize the whole game was about you as a child trying to escape trauma, and then finding out your mother in the game was an abusive alcoholic and that's who you were running from the whole time, and at the end you're getting taken away on your birthday. That game messed me up for a minimum. This game hit home hard. I was so relieved when the dad showed up, because that's exactly how mine saved my life probably. Soma. The ending hit me hard, and I proceeded to have an existential crisis for the next week. Not me, my son. Played an indie game wherein two brothers go on a quest to find water from the tree of life to save their dad from dying. The game can only be played by working together, as in each controller is half controlled by the other player. The quest takes them through dangers and phobias and the brothers bond. They then meet and are befriended by a young woman whom the older brother is attracted to and turns out to be a spider who bites him. They are able to vanquish the spider, but the older brother is mortally wounded. Still they press on and make it to the tree. Too weak to climb it, the older brother stays behind whilst the younger one climbs the tree and retrieves the precious water. When he gets back, the older brother has passed away. He cries and pours the water from the tree onto him, and at first, as he hugs his brother, it seems to have worked. But it is only an illusion, and the younger brother, realizing that he's really on his own, lays his brother to rest and makes his way home. He has to face his fear of water alone, without the brother there to support and cheer him on. He eventually makes it back in time to save his dad, but it is so sad. When my son was describing the game to me, I was crying like a baby. I told him I had no idea games were so artistic. Such a beautiful way to convey art. Valiant Hearts. The only piece of entertainment I've cried at that I can recall recently. I even knew the ending and it still got me. Dude, Emil last letter brings me to years every time. Endgame spoilers warning, dearest Mary, as the war ends for me, I have no regrets. I've seen too much horror. I hope fate has been more merciful to you. Our time on earth is brief, and mine has been filled with so much joy that I can only be thankful for how much I've been blessed, most especially for the wonder you brought into my life. This letter is my last. I've been found guilty by a military court for the death of an officer. It was not my intention to kill him. War makes men mad. Though I failed Carol, I know my sacrifice has not been in vain. I fought for my country and my liberty. My honor is assured, since it is the will of God to separate us on earth. I hope we'll meet again in heaven. Keep me in your prayers. Your loving papa. Always. Even though their bodies have long since returned to dust, their sacrifice still lives on. We must strive to cherish their memory. And never forget. This war of mine. That's how it is and was for most of the people that lived through it, and some still do unfortunately. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.